What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into The Flash issue number 793. This is part 5 of the 1 Minute War. This is Operation Comeback. After the deadly impact of the Fraction's arrival, the Flash family must come together and figure out what is going on and how they can stop the speedster invasion. Now that they have learned just a little bit about the invaders, they are now theorizing how they might be able to take them down. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we pick up with this issue, we are starting with our heroes looking at Superman, because the Flash family is moving so fast that Superman can barely even say a word, while everybody is able to have regular conversation, and Superman is trying to say what is going on, but it takes him so long just to say what. They had been slingshotted right into this speed by the Speed Force. Barry knows that with enough time, Superman might be able to catch up, but right now everything looks like a blur to Superman. This is letting us know that Superman probably could get up to their speed, but all of our speedsters were jumped into this speed instantaneously. And so for speedsters, they easily keep up with this. People that are connected to the Speed Force, this is no problem. But someone like Superman, not connected to the Speed Force, but having super speed, it is plausible that he'll eventually catch up to everybody else. But right now, they can't sit around and wait. Luckily, they have somebody here that they can get some information from. A young boy that Impulse and Kid Flash had grabbed from the captivity of the Fraction. He goes on to let them know that he is a corrections officer of sorts, that he was jumping through dimensions when he landed on a world being overrun by the Fraction. They captured him, and now he is here, that they have a translation field embedded into their armor, so he was able to pick up just a couple of things, those things being what they call organic conduits. These are people that are connected to the Speed Force that don't use the Speed Force artificially, which means speedsters are the most valuable thing to the Fraction. They use them as the core engines for their ships to help propel them through all of the space-time, kind of like a boat through water. On their chest, they have the glowing Speed Force processors. This allows them to use the Speed Force artificially. Same with their jets, their vehicles, etc, etc. In fact, they are pulling so much Speed Force into one location at a time that it saturates the entire planet. That is why they go from 0 to super speed, and there is no off switch until they leave. But the organic conduits, they still go a little bit faster than the Fraction. That is because they conduct this Speed Force organically, and the Fraction's technology is not efficient enough to scale as at least a conduit is, an organic conduit may be. And so they have to use this to their advantage. Now, the kid that they rescued, he lets them know that that is a stupid idea, that there is no way you guys can win. We need to leave this planet, and we have to do it now. But we know our Earth heroes. There is no way the Flash family is going to leave. And so they begin to plan, theorizing that their devices pull in the Speed Force, which means they have to have a way to relay this power to each device. There has to be some kind of satellite, some kind of cell tower in sorts, thinking maybe they might be able to interrupt this. They believe that that is the Spire, kind of like a build your own antenna kit, much like the crystal formations that Eclipso had used in Gem World. But even now, knowing the location of where this is all sourced from, Their defenses are impenetrable, even if they got past the wall or the connected force field. He lets the Flash family know that they would be shot down before they made it. That is where Wally gets an idea. As he heads off to the laboratory, we see Irie and Jesse Quick having a conversation. Irie currently reading to Jai, who is frozen. Now, Jai is connected to the Speed Force, but his powers work a little bit differently. He's more like a surge of power. Hence his nickname, Surge. He is yet to fully understand his powers and abilities. We have seen the future glimpses where he has gotten everything under control. But as it stands, he is frozen just like Superman. As Jesse Quick gives Irie a little bit of a pep talk, letting her know that in all of this chaos, the Flash girls have to have one another's backs. This is what takes us to Barry's laboratory. What Wally wants to do is lay down one of the engines from the fraction. They want to put it into this car, and then they want to drive it right into the spire. And if these things work how they think that they work, an organic conduit should be able to speed it up so that it becomes a moving bomb, essentially going on the theory that mass times acceleration. And while Kid Flash says that this could be suicide, Barry says no. That if the engine is activated by the Speed Force, he imagines it creates a friction barrier like they do when they are running at top speeds. Now, Impulse and Kid Flash, they're a little unsure about this. Not sure what they do once they get to the spire, cause they have been there, they have seen how heavily guarded it is. Not to mention, Miss Murder is still out there. With everybody prepping, they get this vehicle into running shape. They get the engine in it. Jay and Max Mercury, along with the others, they go to test the walls to try and figure out how to get them open. With all the preparation, they are now getting ready to head out into battle. They leave Irie behind with Jai and all of the other heroes, because somebody still needs to protect the world's greatest heroes. From Superman to Our Man. Before they head out, we see a conversation between Wally and Barry. The truth is, Barry's headspace is in a very weird place right now. He just lost the love of his life, and Wally knows that he's not okay. Barry tries to tell him that he doesn't know, that he has his family, he has his kids. Barry has nothing now. This is when Wally, he pauses, reminding Barry that Iris was family to him as well. And believe it or not, Wally has been right where Barry has been. So low that he can't even lift his head. But he tells Barry that it is not over until it is over. It never is. The reason that Barry is in this position is before all of this hit, Iris was going to ask him to marry her. I mean, technically they were married. They remember it, but it's not the same. Not until one of them asked. That's who she was. She knew what she wanted and she went for it. That is what made her such a good reporter. This is when he pulls out a ring and shows that he was also going to do the same thing. With Wally and Barry embracing one another, Wally tells him that they are going to pay. That they are going to make sure this never happens to anybody else ever again. And so now it is time to go into Operation Comeback. With Kid Flash and Impulse distracting a tank driver, they get their attention. They go chasing after them, with him sending his report back saying that they need some help out here. Wally gets ready to drive that car. He sees the signal from Barry, he starts it up and he heads out. Impulse, Max Mercury, Jay Garrick, and Kid Flash, they all prop these walls open. They give Wally the opportunity to drive through. They just need a few more seconds, but that is when Jay Garrick has something go right through his chest. The Fraction soldiers have arrived, letting Jay know that they never had a chance. That them hiding out, making plans, this was never going to work out for them. But the truth is, they knew where they were hiding. In fact, they have already sent Miss Murder to infiltrate the headquarters and take care of anybody that is left inside. With Irie being the only one there, she must face against Miss Murder by herself. With Jay in this state, having this weapon through his chest, the Fraction asks, "What was your plan?" Was your plan to truly just open up a section of the wall and do a frontal attack? Jay smiling, saying that that would just be stupid. On the northeast section of this wall, we have Linda and we have Jesse Quick, who are also opening up a section of the wall. It was all a distraction, with Wally zooming that car right into the facility, avoiding all of the cannons. That is when they say to use the emitter, overpower Wally. Not sure if they can do this, he tells them to do it. That is where we see the energy, it hits Wally and the car. Everything begins to come apart. Wally unable to phase, believing that this may be his final moments. Irie running away from Miss Murder, Max Mercury, Impulse, Kid Flash, and Jay Garrick all captured. Nothing but a smoke trail where Wally once was. The Flash family has fallen. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So definitely a fun issue. We have finally dived right into the battle. The first plan that they come up with seemed like a relatively good plan, but they underestimated the might of the fraction. And in doing so, it may have cost Jay Garrick his life. It has caused many of the Flash family to now be captured, and it seems as if Wally West has completely disintegrated. Now that emitter, the energy that he was hit with, we can assume that this was pure Speed Force energy, which means Wally probably isn't gone. He probably disappeared into the Speed Force. So we can definitely expect to see him in the next issue, making his appearance when he is most needed. Now after the Flash special, the 1 Minute War special that we had gotten I think a couple weeks ago, we saw future glimpses, so we know our heroes that at least survived this battle. I am very interested to see how Irie handles against Miss Murder, because we know that they were able to break the walls down using Jai, using his kinetic energy connected to the Speed Force. They used him as a freaking wrecking ball, and we know that that is coming up soon. So I am very excited to see how all of that unfolds and how Miss Murder is going to be handled. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with the 1 Minute War, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do any of this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.